Oh. Yo, everybody. Boy, do we have some news for you today. Grinsloth Gaming, completely out of nowhere while I'm at work, messages me, Eldegold, have you seen this concept art? Now, you guys know me. I'm a sucker for concept art. I'm a sucker for anything Spellbreak. When he messages me, have I seen this concept art? Is me thinking, yeah, I've seen this concept art. I used it in my Mana Vault video. What are you talking about, Sloth? Sloth proceeds to send me 24 pictures, 24 concept art images from an ex-proletariat employee regarding some of the in-game locations, characters, and items, I guess. And I lost it. I lost it, guys. I lost it. Hence why this video is raw. It's going to be pretty much unedited. I think we should just get straight into it. I'm super excited. I can't believe this. I just want to say from the get-go as well, this is concept art. So we can't take it for gospel. All of this might not have anything to do with the game anymore. It might be changed or different, or this was, you know, just a concept which led to a different idea. So just take everything we see here with a pinch of salt. But I want to see if we can try and link all of this information to what we know in game, whether it has any implications for the future, and what it means for us now. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to stutter a lot in this video because I normally script and edit these. So let's get into it. Click the right button on my stream deck. So, first picture, dust pool. Evidently, I think we all can gather that. But cool thing about this is we have a water-filled water tower, which is something that the Lawbreakers have been looking into quite a lot. Shout out to the Lawbreakers, check him out below. Same as Grinsloth Gaming, check him out below as well. I know he's got a video coming out on some of these concept art images, going a little bit more in depth on particular images, so make sure you go check out his channel, link will be in the description. But yeah, we kind of came to the conclusion that these green orbs gave us the idea of where water would come out of the towers in Dustpool. If you look at them on the map, they've got little squares underneath them, which seem like, you know, a little exit for the water to come out. And we know that Dustpool is in the middle of a dry desert, so we would hope that they would have some kind of water reservoir or some kind of, yeah, just system to make sure that they have water. Sorry, I have an itchy ear. But yeah, so this was a really cool picture to see. Whether they took out the idea of Dustpool having water, we don't know. Again, this is just concept art, but I don't think that's the case. I think the fact that these green things still have the little squares underneath them in-game show that they could at some point, or did at some point, hold water and let water flow through them. We also see this in the next image. We've got this kind of flow area down here that moves from the green part, same as over here. I think anywhere with this green part, water would flow down. So you've got your kind of walkways along here, or possibly not even walkways, just there could be bushes. There could have been glitter plum bushes there. We know that Dustpool is renowned for its glitter plum fruit. Such a tongue twister, guys, apologies. Yeah, just another kind of up-close look at Dustpool. Again, another one more from what I would imagine is the front view. So I imagine in concept art, this is what Dustpool originally looked like. We would have come into Dustpool on this little entranceway here. This would have either been the dome that we know, just more protected, or there would have been a bigger dome back behind here. Moving on to the next image, though, we get kind of a name for this, Dustpool Hold. Of course, we know this is Dustpool, and Water Towers, which just solidifies the fact that these towers held water for the inhabitants of Dustpool during the dry seasons, because we know it only ever rains 1 week in the year, I believe, in Dustpool, and that's when the glitter plum bushes bloom. Again, don't quote me on that, I'm pretty sure that's right. You wouldn't believe how much info is in Garrick's journal, trying to remember it all, my brain goes poof. But yeah, this looks like possibly an old design of Dustpool. We know it doesn't quite look like this anymore. We know that the central dome is a little bit more exposed. We know that we have two central towers on the entranceway now, and there's not a archway at all. But all of this bit up here kind of seems similar. All of the surrounding area to the hold itself. What I would have really liked to have seen from this is one of the trees, which would have been really cool. The tree in the centre hold, that would have been really cool. But alas, we shall move on to a more kind of zoomed out look at Dustpool. So we can see down here the Dustpool environment. This main middle top picture is the one that was getting me big time though. the water, the river. It looks like there is a river that flows all the way down towards Dustpool. Now we can see here by this picture, these kind of possibly like fracture breaks, or just breaks in the environment. Because I can't really discern any water in here. And then we've got a big like pillar down here, which you can see here as well, which seems to be to the left of Dustpool. If we assume that we're looking at Dustpool straight on in both of these, this pillar's to the left. Really interesting. I don't think that's in game, or if it is in game, it's much smaller. So yeah, that's a really interesting idea. Big old high ground there. That was interesting. But again, concept. So now this is a very kind of quick image, just a sketch of one of the architectural structures in the game. And then we move on to Bayon Helm. Now these were some of the concept art pictures that really got me, because we've never seen Bayon Helm in its full glory, the academy, and this is a concept of what it could have looked like. And I believe that this is quite possibly the closest picture of Bayon Helm we will have to what our Bayon Helm is supposed to look like, due to the big bridge. We know that's in game. You got your big platform here. We've got our doors over here, or the entranceway that backs up to the mountain. I love this here as well, because this very much implies. So if you guys haven't played the event at the end of Chapter 2, spoilers, I guess, even though you can't do it anymore. But we went to see the Vital Stone of Goyal, which was sat in a location just underneath Bayon Helm, and this big gold metal thing here very much symbolises that Vital Stone of Goyal, in my opinion, or a Vital Stone nonetheless. And if this fell underneath here, where we know all of this is broken in now, yeah, I think that's got big implications, and I just think this looks beautiful. There are a couple more Bayon Helm pictures. We've got, yeah, hold on a minute, we'll stick on this, because this Bayon Helm picture, because we know we've got this platform up here as well. This is why I think this is the closest image that we have to what Bayon Helm would have looked like in our current version of the Hollowlands or the Highlands. But yeah, beautiful artwork. Moving on to what looks to be an Aegis Tower, or a leftover Aegis Tower, or a broken bit of architecture from Halcyon, perhaps. The colour scheme with the gold and white is very Halcyon-esque. The only thing that makes me say Aegis Tower is because some of the images that we will see in just a moment. We've got just another piece of architecture from what I believe is Bayon Helm. Looks very Bayon Helmy. The windows, the hexagonal shapes. I will spit my words out eventually. Yes, this was the other picture of Bayon Helm I was looking for. Now this, I believe, is another very close representation of what we see in Bayon Helm. Just with the exception of all of these floating bits here. I've hit the floor. Smash! Because this seems the closest to what we have. Again, if we go back to that other picture, it's kind of similar. Oh, I just closed some of the pictures. That is not what I wanted to do. Whoops. What one's this? 7. Okay, where's 8? We scuffed up, guys. We scuffed up, but it's fine. And then 9. Beautiful. And then 10. Beautiful. Then 11? Did we shut that one as well? No, we kept 11. Right, cool. So, here we were. Yes, here we were. So, this Bayon Helm, my apologies, guys. I will try and cut it if it's not too bad. But yeah, so, broken Bayon Helm, fractured Bayon Helm. Wow, is all I've got to say to this. I think this is incredible. If this is what Bayon Helm actually looked like, could you imagine fighting here? Could you? Oh, man. So cool. So cool. I'd love to see something like this implemented, because I know we have the floating rocks in Bayon Helm, but bigger, better. Wow, I love it. I think this would be a really, really cool idea, for sure, for sure. Let's move on to the next one. So here we have like a little comic strip of like what happened at Bayon Helm. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we've got like a C here. Let me just move myself out of the way so you guys can see this properly. There we go. But yeah, it kind of looks like we see a lot of energy drawn in on number 1 at the top of Bayon Helm, possibly from the Vital Stone of Goyal. Number 2, we see it, boom, out. Number 3, actually, looking at this, I don't think this is a comic strip. I think these are 5 different concepts on what Bayon Helm looked like after the fracture. Looking at this again, you know. Yeah, I'm going to go back on what I said. Yeah, I definitely think that this is, yeah, these are different concepts for what Bayon Helm look like after the fracture. The only thing that threw me off is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 C. Clear copyright concept? Don't know, but love all of these. Number 2 is definitely my favourite. Again, the more floaty stuff that we can jump on and fight on, the better. But yeah, again, really, really love this. If you guys want to check out all these concept art images as well, if you go on my Twitter, I did retweet it a few days ago, so you can go and check them out on there for yourself if you do so desire. We've got another picture of Bayon Helm here again. A slightly different picture of Bayon Helm. It seems more centralised as opposed to against the back of the mountain as we know it. I definitely like this. I think it looks really pretty. We see that Vital Stone of Goyal kind of tower, statue, architectural building here. I think that's kind of a running theme within Bayon Helm, is that we're always going to see some kind of architecture based around the Vital Stone. Because that's where the majority of their research was, in the time that we knew them, of course, in the history that we have. Obviously, before that, we don't really know too much history. But yeah, again, just a really nice other concept of Bayon Helm. I really like it. I think the buildings look really clean. I think this would be a really, really nice arena to play a Valorant-style game mode or a Siege-style game mode. I think you can make lanes out of this and stuff like that. Just completely out of the blue, completely out of there, but I would love a game mode like that. I think that would be really fun, and on a map like this, perfect. Next, we have the Aegis Towers. Now these have some darn implications for story, which is why I have to keep remembering, this is concept art. Take it with a pinch of salt before I lose my mind and make 18 videos. But we see the Aegis Towers. We've got a few different variations here. We can see that they lock into the ground to an extent. We've got prongs and mesh clothes. We have a person for reference at the bottom down here. Yeah, them tiny little black spots there, that's person. That's a person. There we go, look. Tiny. Which is, these got to be Aegis Towers. Mesh extends, prongs closed and mesh extends. We've got lock releases over here. I just think these are really cool pictures of the Aegis Towers, but we do have some even cooler pictures of the Aegis Towers next. They move, guys. Or they might move. See, this is a thing. Concept art, concept art, concept art. Don't forget, it's concept art. But we got another picture here, person for reference for the Aegis Towers. What's that? Fillers. Oh, pillars and gate closes. So this is what was really interesting. So we know that the Aegis Towers were there to protect against the storm. And they move in. We see a kind of blue glow around any of them that are closed, which leads me to believe that this is when they're absorbing the spell tides, and this is when they are just stationary, they're on standby, there's no danger. We see here pillars and gates converge, pillars slide down together. So just different ideas on how the Aegis Towers are going to come in and lock together to help protect against the Aegis tides, these spell tides. Again, really, really cool pictures. I think the design of these Aegis Towers are beautiful. The architecture, mwah, I love it. Very Halcyon inspired in my opinion. And then next we've got some more Aegis Tower artwork. So we've got 1 through 6 of different concepts for what the Aegis Towers would look like. We've got down here as well, which is really interesting, like a giant vice screw. So, yeah, it's almost as if they screw these Aegis Towers in together, maybe with a Tempest Gauntlet. Then we've got one here, up and together, so we see the Aegis Towers would kind of come up and clamp together. I like this idea here. Pylons close around the core. So we see that the Aegis Towers almost have a core to them, which I believe would be their main source of spell-tied disruption. And then these pillars close around them, so then the middle core can help protect against the spell tides. We also see down here some swing-like doors, which could be interesting. The Aegis Towers could have been gates as well, and we see gates used quite a lot. Lattice closes as well here. I really like that. That's like a like a grid lattice effect, which I think, again, really pretty. But yeah, the doors is a really interesting idea because we know Halcyon was very protected. It was built up by stone shapers, so in between the Aegis Towers there could have been walls, and we could have had to have entered via the Aegis Towers, which is, again, really interesting concept, and I really like the idea. And then we finally have the gears option in the bottom, so we see that these gears move up to bring the Aegis Tower in together. All very cool ideas for the Aegis Towers. If any of these were implemented, I would love it. Absolutely love it. We've got a little bit more in-depth and in-game looking concept art here. Sorry, I'll just try and move myself out of the way as much as I can. So yeah, we see the Aegis Tower on the bases that we see in-game. This was what was super interesting, especially up here as well. We have stood on these parts of the Aegis Towers in-game. We have stood on these parts of the Aegis Towers. So, the fact that this cog here, the wheelhouse, that means that the Aegis Towers can turn. Which means they can be aimed, they can be pointed in certain directions. Really interesting. And then we have a full kind of colorized version of the Aegis Tower. We've got the mesh apparatus on the inside of the Aegis Tower as well. We see like tunnels here. I don't know whether that would be for people to enter or whether it is just for maintenance, something along those lines. But again, this is super cool. You can see down here as well, look, that is the size of us in comparison to these Aegis Towers. So they are humongous, absolutely monstrosity. Really cool. I love this. I would love to see using the chronolith, maybe we could see what the Aegis Towers used to be like. I think that would be really cool. Moving on though, from the Aegis Towers, we're getting a little bit more concept out of Bogmore. Again, very basic, just some nice architecture, a little bit of an entranceway. Not really too much to say on this image here, just a nice clean rendered image of Bogmore, kind of a sketched image of Bogmore. Some nice shading on there, not too dissimilar to what we see in game. But yeah, very nice picture nonetheless. We've got another great concept art image from Bogmore. We see the big Bogmore Tower in the background that we all know and love. Now, the one thing that I wanted to talk about in this picture, which I don't believe I've seen anybody else even kind of talk about. I do have a video in the works on this as well. But this here. So I spend a lot of time talking about the green flame and asking, what is the green flame? Why does Blackthorn talk about it like it's a deity or a god or something along those lines? It's always capitalized whenever we see it mentioned. And this here was just really interesting to me because this looked like it could be the green flame. We can see the green flame up here in Bogmore. We see it all around Bogmore, but this almost looks like a natural occurrence of it as it's coming out of the ground, surrounded by some trees, and I'm interested. I want to know what the green flame is and what implication it has. I think it's very powerful, and Bogmore use it to power the chronolith for a start. We see the chronolith has a green flame in the middle of it when we used it at the end of chapter 2. So I really think the green flame is something that's going to be imperative to us using new types of magic and finding out about the past and just helping the Bogmore Collective. Well, not helping the Bogmore Collective, but letting the Bogmore Collective try and help us through Blackthorn, I guess. Because we know the Bogmore Collective are super secret. The Shade Hand is super secret. But why are they super secret? Is it because they have this amazing untold power in the green flame that can make them use magic in ways that we never thought was possible? Of course, us as breakers, we're only aware of runic, elemental, and rift magic so far. So yeah, the green flame could be something completely different. I know it's very easy to jump. Oh, green flame, dragon fire, very easy to jump to. But I I don't think they would call it the green flame, or it would have some link to Dragonfire. Plus the I know this is going to sound really stupid, really stupid, but the colours are different. So the green flame has a lighter green, almost a cyan to it, whereas Dragonfire is like a deep, just a green, just green, like a lime green almost. But yeah, you can see here, this is almost more of a cyan-y, like sea green. So yeah, this has a lot of implications for me. Be expecting the green flame video out soon. I know I've been making it for ages, but I've just been really trying to find some more evidence for it, and I really like this here. But alas, we shall move on to Deirdre. Deirdre, who far art thou, Deirdre? For a start, I've got a few ideas about this bad bish. So I think Deirdre is the Shade Hand. Very, like, yeet, throwing it out there. I've literally just got some concept art on her from an ex-Proletariat employee. However, we know that Bogmore is heavily associated with crows. We see them everywhere. In the Chapter 1 trailer, there was a little crow that flew out as the Bogmore Death Dealer came by. All over the architecture, crows everywhere. Crows. And we see Deirdre here with a big old crow. Big old crow staff, big old crow headdress, big old crow torso jacket, using a red kind of magic. Now, this character really interests me. She might be scrapped. She might have nothing to do with it. Maybe the Bogmore Death Dealer replaced Deirdre. But I really hope we see her. A, because I think she's a really cool designed character. B, I think it'd be a bit of a plot twist if we got this person as the Shade Hand. I think anybody that's looked into the lore, I might be speaking for myself, but I just kind of assumed the Shade Hand was a dude. And I don't know why, but I think it would be cooler if it was Deirdre. She seems badass. And we know the Shade Hand has some kind of unique magic which causes people, whenever they have meetings with a Shade Hand, they just wake up somewhere else, or it was all a dream, or they've been teleported home and they're sweating buckets and they wake up in their bed like, what on earth just happened? And we've never seen this kind of red magic before. And I know it could just be to match the eyes, but you know us lawbreakers. You know me. You know Eldegold. We're gonna dig, poke, and find new things. I know we've got some blue over here as well. But yeah, Deirdre really interests me, and I'm calling it now. I think she's the Shade Hand. You heard it here first, guys. We've got a few more pictures of Deirdre here, initial sketches of her, of what she would originally look like. Again, just solidifying my point, she is always sketched with a crow. Not once did she not have a crow with her, which I think instantly at least puts her with Bogmore and with the Bogmore Collective. Maybe not the Shade Hand, but she could. I definitely think she's got something to do with the Bogmore Collective, 100%. But yeah, I'm calling it Shade Hand. So we've got a little bit of information here about just some basic buildings. So it says here, the lower wards, I believe this is about Longwatch. We've got a really cool picture of Longwatch coming up. So the lower wards, where the action of the trailer will primarily take place, are filled with row houses, shops, and less refined structures which create haphazard alleyways and labyrinthian streets where any number of events can occur. Note, the materials here do not show the proper amount of weathering which would occur on these structures. So these structures here are from the kind of area where we saw Avira and Blackthorn meet up in the trailer, after they get jumped by the Valguard, and Thaddeus shows up, gives them a big stone go brr, Avira big windy whips it. We love to see it. Again, just some really nice art. Again, I know this is concept art, but this kind of solidifies that at least some of this concept art has been used in game or will be used in game, because it says here where the action of the trailer will primarily take place, which has already happened. We know that for a fact. So although this is all concept art, I'd really like to believe that some of it, or all of it, is going to be used in game. But I love the designs of them. I think they're really cool. Now, Longwatch. Longwatch. Now, we've all wanted to see Longwatch for a long old... Well, I don't know about everyone else, but I have. And I know Sloth has as well. We love Longwatch here at the Lawbreakers. We just want to see what it's like. So, a huge tower spire in the Citadel faces the Hollow Lands and serves as both a point of observation and a symbol of power. When the light of the sun shines through the tower and its smaller brother, it illuminates the memorial statue of Griff the First Hand of Defence, the Warden of Longwatch and head of the Storm Guard. Now, this tower is, of course, where we see Ferric in the trailer. When he's looking out over the Hollowlands, he's like, oh, we shall have our grasp on the Hollowlands soon. That must be where Ferric is. We know that he is almost taken over as the hand of defense for the moment with his Valguard, since everything's happened with the fracture. And we see him in a big old tower looking over the Hollowlands. So yeah, this must be where Ferric was during the trailer. I really want to see this statue of Griff. It just sounds really pretty. I want to see the light shine through these towers. We can see it like comes through here. And I want to see the statue of Griff in all of its glory. We also see some more water here, which again just solidifies there's definitely water in the Highlands. It's not some peculiar planet where no water exists. But yeah, really, really cool design. Now, the next thing we're going to move on to is a big old zoom out, which again, wow, 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 wow. What a picture. So we'll go through the text first. The citadel and the upper wards tower above the expanse of the lower wards on an elevated Presidio with huge retaining walls. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Giant ramps and water-powered elevators bring people and goods up and down inside the pointed hubs which sprout from the giant walls. Really cool. So we see this is kind of a waterworks system here, which brings things into these ports. As you can see here, lower wards are not shown. So this picture here that we saw, the lower ward houses, that is what would be all down here. And we also see that it is protected by a canal? Not a canal, a moat. It has a moat. Longwatch has a moat. So yeah, this is the big watchtower where Ferric and his bad boys are. This is where all of the prissy rich boys are, and all the prissy rich girls, all around here in the upper wards. And then we've got all of the lower wards down here, where I imagine, unfortunately, the lower class people are the people who are maybe a little bit less trusting of Ferric. I don't know how much control over Longwatch Ferric has, whether, you know, Ferric decides who's in the upper wards, or whether it was something that was pre-decided before he was appointed Hand of Defense. I'm not 100% sure, but it is great to get a full picture of Longwatch. Absolutely incredible. I love it, I love it, I love it. Really, really beautiful place. I can't wait to visit. I really hope we get to visit there soon. Now we've got a back view of the of Longwatch with the cliff face hanging off the back, which again, very interesting. We could stop this whole Ferric thing in about, I don't know, in about 10 seconds. So we just get 3 stone shapers down here, 3 or 4 stone shapers down here. Bush, bush, bush. Big old tower falls off. Boom. Bye bye Ferric. We win. Cool, isn't it? So yeah, so you see a waterfall back here. Let's just go through the text real quick. Longwatch is a city just outside the Hollowlands, perched at the edge of the Stormweave Plateau on the cliff's edge. It stands as a bastion of order beyond the ruins of the former Highlands. The city consists of a number of main areas: the citadel, the upper wards, the lower wards, and the outskirts. This image illustrates the view of Longwatch from the cliffside. The river which creates the waterfall is split in several places to channel water into the citadel to run various machinery and utilities. A specific note not shown here is that the distance from the city down to sea level would be immense. What is shown here is only a fraction of the cliff's total height. So we know that Longwatch is yeet up in the sky. We also know that water runs the majority of machinery and utilities in Longwatch, which is really interesting. I just instantly would have assumed Brillstones would control them, but water also works easier. I know we traded Brillstones with a Prisma, so I guess water is a consistent thing. I'm just interested whether the water is still at Longwatch now, because we know it's not in the Highlands at the moment. And if we need the water to run the machinery, then is it there or is it not? I'm really not sure. But again, another incredible picture of Longwatch we have here. And it's interesting to know how high up Longwatch is as well. I mean, what's that? The size of a skyscraper, I would assume. Really interesting. And yeah, I think that is all of them, guys. Again, if you want to look at any of these pictures for yourself, you can pop on the Twitter. On my Twitter, I've got it on there. You can see, let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 pictures, indeed. But, guys, I know this has been a bit of a random video. This video has gone on a lot longer than I expected it to as well. I wanted this to be a 10-minute video. It's turned into a half-an-hour video. But I did. This bit is being recorded after the rest of the other footage. Just wanted to give a huge shout out to OP. He beat me to the punch for this video. Unfortunately, work kept me a little bit behind, so I'm sorry for the delay on this video. If you want to see somebody else's perspective, see more of the artwork, hear more about this concept, go check out OP. I will link his video in the description below. An incredible content creator. Make sure you go and check him out. But alas, thank you guys for being here with me today. I'm sorry the video is out so late. I hope you enjoy this kind of raw video. If you like this kind of thing and want to see me do it more often, you want to see me whenever Spellbreak tweet a new picture, you want to see me come and talk about it, let me know in the comments down below. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Have a blessed rest of your weekend, and I will see you hopefully when, well, I'll see you soon. See you soon. I was going to say see you in chapter 3, but I don't know when that's going to be, so I'll probably see you beforehand. But yeah, wow, when I don't script an outro, I really don't know what to say. Okay, big love everybody, bye!